Yay, happy meeting, guys. So exciting. Hi, Danielle. Thanks for coming to the party. Okay, so today is going to be like a bunch of different topics because that's what everybody wanted covered and that's what we're going to go over. And I'm sorry, I'm total obvious grease ball happening right now, but that's okay. Who doesn't love a friendly grease ball? Okay, so first topic I had written down was staying motivated. This seems to be a common denominator for a lot of different people right now. I don't know if it's just because it's summer or what's going on, but it's not just you guys. I'm seeing this like all over in different teams. So it's definitely not just you guys. But when it comes to staying motivated, that's not really something I can do for you guys. You guys have to remember that this is your business. This is what you're building. This is what you are doing now. This business is entirely about you. And what you have to remember is if you want to make it big in this business, if you want this to be an income for you, if you want this to be something that can provide for you in the future, that that has to be the reason why you're staying motivated, or that has to be the reason for your motivation. Your why and why you're doing this has to be that reason. You have to go back and you have to remember that Ashley and Chris Casey took 3 years to get to 200K. They just announced their, fourth or fifth year in the company, and they're freaking millionaires. You guys, they are legitimately millionaires. If that's not motivation, I don't know what is. And I know when things get slow and you get down about it and everybody just wants to throw in the towel, and that's obviously not what you should do, because it took them months just to hit 4K. It took them almost, a year to hit 12K. I mean, you can't expect this stuff to happen overnight, but if you're patient and you're consistent, and those are the two words I use in this business more than I think, that I just use those two words more than anything at all whatsoever. Patience and consistency will get you so much further than wanting everything and wanting it now. Wanting everything and wanting it now is going to get you absolutely nowhere. You're going to be frustrated with your post. You're going to be frustrated you're not getting enough interaction. But if you have the mindset that this is what is going to take you into, say you want to buy a house in 5 years. If you want that to be a goal, make that your goal. Not oh shoot, I didn't get any sales today, because then you start obsessing and then you're starting to check your trackers and then you can't deal with anything and you're taking the larger picture out of it, which you should never ever do. So I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. It's a little easier to breathe this week since baby's lower. But staying motivated is your job. I can't necessarily help you with that. You know what I mean? This is your business. Whatever you guys want to do with your business is what's going to come out of your business. You just need to decide what you want. If you don't want to work for it, then nothing is ever going to come from. Words. What are words, guys? What are words? You have to decide what you want out of this business, and you have to decide it now. And that's going to be your motivation. That has to be your motivation every day. And whatever your motivation is, write it down. Put it on something that you can look at constantly. Hell, you were making me nauseous with your camera. It's everywhere. I'm trying not to pay attention to it. But whatever your motivation is, write it down. Whatever people do, the dream boards, and that's fine. People have a goal, and that's fine. Whatever your motivation is, write it down and stick it in your freaking face every single day. Every single day, you want to be looking at that and you want to be motivated. Staying motivated shouldn't have anything to do with anything. You should always be motivated if you have a long-term goal in mind. If you do not have a long-term goal, of course it's going to stay hard. It's going to be hard to stay motivated because you don't know what you're going for. You don't know why you're doing this. If you don't know why you're doing this and you don't know what you're reaching for, motivation is going to be a lot harder for you. That's just a simple fact. But you have to understand this is not a microwave business. It's said over and over and over again. This is a crock pot business. You guys, it could take you years. It could take you years, but imagine what you could do in a couple years if this all works out and you stay patient and you stay consistent. If it's slow right now and your posts aren't working out for you, but they worked out for you in the beginning, you could tweak things here and there, but don't stop. Don't just stop posting them, because the second you stop, you have no chance of anything. You know what I mean? The only reason why you have doubt is because you're not getting an immediate reaction. Life doesn't happen in immediate reactions. It's just not how it works. You need to trust that this business is going to take you somewhere. If you don't have trust in that process, then a lot of things are not going to go right for you. I know there's this giant fear of the unknown, is what if this doesn't work out? But if that's even a thought in your head, then it's not going to work out. You need to know that you just need to have a 5-year plan. If this is something that's going slowly for you, have a 5-year plan. Say 5 years, this is where I want to be, and this is what I want to be making. Dream as big as you could possibly want in the entire world. So the smaller you dream, the smaller outcomes you're going to see. So I hate to say this, but I don't want to hear about how hard it is to stay motivated, because it should not be hard to stay motivated. It should never be hard to stay motivated. Even when I'm in, like, we're all human, so we all have days where, like, shit just sucks. And that's okay. That's totally okay to just have a day. But think of even a broader spectrum of that week. That you shouldn't throw that whole week away. You shouldn't throw that whole month away. You shouldn't throw the whole 6 months away. If you're having a bad day, have a bad day. Have a bad day. That's fine. But keep in this business and stay, and just, even if you don't feel like it, just make a post. Just make a post. It's okay. That's where the patience and consistency comes in. You're allowed to have time periods where you feel down, but your Facebook and your social media cannot reflect that. Let me repeat that. Your Facebook and your social media cannot reflect that. People out there do not know what's going on in your personal life. You could be sitting not showered for days. It's me right now. Okay? You could be having a bad week. Everything would be going on. But, like, even if you don't want to post a selfie, find, like, an inspirational something of anything that you could possibly gather to make sure that your Facebook stays active and stays positive. And that's what's going to get you through these hard times and these sticky times where you're just not feeling it. And when you're just not feeling it, I can guarantee you're not going to get as much interaction as you want. But it makes it a lot easier for when you start feeling it again to jump back in. You know what I mean? Because you're staying patient. To the other end of your Facebook, the other person that's seeing your posts, you're staying consistent. That is a good thing. So I feel like I'm jumping all over the place with the stay motivated and, like, it's okay to take time for yourself. But, like, it is. It's okay to take time for yourself, but your Facebook needs to be consistent constantly. It needs to be consistent. You're allowed to make a post that's like, I had a terrible day. This is whatever, but, you know, what got me through it was having the team or having the products or something like that. Make a positive spin on it. Every opportunity, everything that happens into your life, positive or negative, make it a positive business opportunity, regardless. This is what you guys all decided to jump into this business. You all decided to do this. This is all part of your life now. You want to make money from your phone. It needs to reflect, everything needs to reflect positively in a business matter on your Facebook. Simple as that. It doesn't matter how you're actually feeling. You could be sitting crying in tears and post a picture of, like, your cat or something like that. Like, isn't he cute? But it doesn't matter because you're keeping the positive thing going on your Facebook. Something which was touched about, which we'll jump on later, hopefully depending on how freaking long of a ride home Kel's got, is making controversial posts on your Facebook, which we want to stay away from and which can absolutely hurt your business. So if there's anything, for me personally, I'm a recovering drug addict, so it's something I stand really, really, really firm on, and I will make occasional posts about, but you will not see me posting about like Narcan or anything like that. Like, you really, really want to stay away from those controversial posts. I don't care what your personal opinion is on anything at all whatsoever. Keep it off the internet. Everybody knows that your opinion is not the same as other people's opinions, and that can drag your business down real, real, real quick. Because I hate to say it, but someone who, like, believes all addicts should die, I hate saying that, could be a possible customer for me. I hate saying that, but I'm honestly, when it comes to Facebook and when it comes to the internet, I'm here to make money. I'm not here to make friends. You know what I mean? You're here to make friends, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, when it comes to your cold market, the people you don't know, the people you're not interacting with, everybody's a potential. Everybody's a potential. So I have to tread lightly. You got to keep that Facebook. You got to keep everything on happy, beautiful, everything's going wonderful all the time note. With the occasional bad day post, you're allowed to do that. That's fine. But all in all, you don't want to make it a negative experience. Your Facebook should never be a negative experience for anybody. If you question whether or not your Facebook is too negative, go through your page. Make sure you're going through your page. I say this all the time too, which I have written down, the social media image and posting the right way. This was another thing that wanted to be covered. Go through your Facebook and look at it and really look at your news, your timeline, whatever the right word for that is. I don't know. Whatever, you know. Words aren't my friend anymore, in case anyone has not noticed that already. So I'm doing the best I can. Just deal with it. But go through your timeline and go through it and pretend like you're on someone else's timeline. Like, would you be friends with you? Would you really be friends with you? Like, think about it. Like, are you making too many business posts? One thing I find you guys are doing a lot, which is fine if this works for you, but if it doesn't work, stop, are the, like, what is it? Like the memes, like the Thrive memes. I'm seeing a lot of bad quality ones that's not going to catch any, like, I know it's like, why don't you like rise and thrive like Mickey Mouse or whatever? I'm telling you guys right now, those are not going to give you the return that you want. They're not relating to anybody at all in your newsfeed. Nobody knows what Thrive is if they haven't been following you like to the T. And it's not really the right mystery post to get people involved, especially if it's a bad quality image. So I personally like to stray away from posting any images that are not real life images. Like, you want this to be part, and anything that you post image wise, you want it to be like come from your personal life, if that makes any sense. A lot of the memes I really try and stay away from. Yeah, they're fun and they're cute, but like Facebook, in case you haven't seen those commercials these days about Facebook wanting to make Facebook more Facebooky or whatever it is, and they want people to connect to other people, they're trying, that's why you see those like GIFs that are like those two split images, because algorithms are cracking down and Facebook doesn't want that stuff circulating around Facebook anymore. They want to see pictures of family, they want to see pictures of you, they want to see pictures of your real life, and that's what Facebook is pushing through right now. Facebook is not pushing through those images that you're posting. I promise you that. They make a commercial about how they're trying to stray away from that. So just keep that in mind when you guys are posting that kind of stuff. Your social image media, I don't want to call it, or social image media, wow, social media image. I hate to call it a brand because but it's not a brand as it is finding what your consistency is, if that makes sense. I don't necessarily 100% believe in using the same filter over and over again, but you want the look of your pictures to be cohesive with each other. You don't want to be like I wouldn't use like all black and whites and like stuff like that, but you want it to kind of have a flow to it. So have an idea is like, if you're like the funny person, then you can post like a joke. Like, I have a girl on my newsfeed who like I follow purely because like she posts jokes like all the time. It's hilarious. I have a girl that I post like recipes that I love all the time, and I love going to her. So like, just find out what your groove is and kind of just, like I said, just make sure everything is cohesive and works together. Go into your profile. Make sure you look like somebody that you would want to be friends with. You want to make sure your background image, your profile picture, and it all kind of works and flows together, because you are literally, especially when you're networking, trying to attract people that you've never met before. So you really got to put on a show for these people, essentially. This is really just going to be all over the place. Does anybody have any questions on like anything I just said? Because I don't even know what I just said. Danielle, hi, please intervene. Go ahead. Can you unmute yourself, or do you want me to do it? Okay, that's look like you want me to do it. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. It's not necessarily a question so much as like a comment about keeping your social media image good and positive, and even if you're not doing well, because I've been going through it this month. And I haven't been lying on my social media and saying that like life is all rainbows and butterflies, because it's not. And I can't find the inspiration to post like that. But like, I just posted yesterday a picture from when I was in a really bad depression in November, and then posted a picture from like a week and a half ago, and there's a huge difference. So I just kind of wrote about how I needed the reminder about how far I've come, and that's not untrue, but I'm not, I'm not saying like I feel like crap. I'm just saying like, look, I needed this reminder. Or like when Scarlett and Keith are playing in the rain, I captioned it like, it's raining more than ever, but we still have each other. And it's like, that was to remind myself that shit's hard right now, but we got each other. But it was still a cute picture of like Scarlett and her dad playing in the rain, So that's all I wanted to say, is like, there definitely is a way to like post and not feel disingenuous, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, 100%. No, 100%. Because I go through the same thing. Like, even if you are going through a rough patch or like you're having a rough month or anything like that, I guarantee you there's going to still be like bits and pieces where you're going to find either throughout your day or throughout your week that are positive. And the second you have any positive experience, just throw it on your Facebook. Like Danielle said, she's like, even if there's just like a couple things here and there, if you don't want to feel like, you know, you're lying on your Facebook or anything like that, then really make sure you treasure those moments, or go back to previous moments where you felt a certain way, or go back to, you know, if you are having a bad week, you say having a bad week, but thanks to, you know, my team and this group of girls and, you know, this business, you know, they're what gets me through on the everyday, or, you know, thanks to these products, I'm not struggling as much as I thought I would. You guys have to remember, especially when it comes to like the staying motivated thing and like not feeling like you're not getting people coming to you, is because you're obsessing purely on just posting crap to your Facebook. Like I said, like you don't want to just be repetitive with like posting, you know, just about the 3 steps, because a lot of people want to know what it's doing for you. Essentially, people want to know what it's doing for you. They want to be able to peek into your life and know what's going on when Thrive is involved. And you guys have to know that, like, on a serious level, we are with an amazing company. We have an amazing comp plan compared to anybody else, and our products actually work. Like, hello, like what you have on your hands is gold. Like, you have to remember that. On days where you feel like you're not doing enough, just remember like how you feel on these products and how everybody else needs to be on these products and feel the way that you feel. As simple as that, we're all standing here because the products work and we feel great on them. You have to remember you're sharing your experience. And what we have in our hands really is something that's worth a lot. It's worth a lot, and it changes so many lives. You see it on everybody's Facebook every day, and all these customers and all these promoters and all these things that people have changed. It's worked out for them positively. I literally can't talk. But what you have on your hands, you need to be able to share and communicate what it's doing for you and how it's helping for you, because you need to be, I feel like I have this like line down my head. You have to get your story out there so that other people can relate to you. People need to see that. And it sounds ridiculous, and I say this all the time, but people are nosy and they want to know what's going on. Like those posts that say, I go back to when I first joined. I think it was like the day that I got the products. I think that's when I sold out of the rest of my samples, simply because I took a before picture of my sink and after picture of my sink and talked about how much energy I had, being like, I think this was even before I announced that I was pregnant. It goes back that far. And I was just like, I have never like just sat here and like cleaned my kitchen like that, and in such a short period of time. And these products, talk about what the products are doing for you. You don't have to just say sale, 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 and like thrive this, thrive that. Like, people want to see into your life and see how it's affecting your life, and see, like, I know Kel in particular, she was doing her best. Sorry, I'm not saying you're doing your best now, but she was doing her best when she was posting about the gym every day and seeing her gym progress and how like long she was going on the elliptical. You could see people were interacting with that like crazy, because they're like, oh my God, how are you doing that? And that's how she would start the conversation. And I'm just going to run into, once you're in a conversation with somebody, this was a question I had written down from somebody, but talking to potential / answering questions without word vomiting. When it comes to this, it's a very hard thing in the beginning. Do not get me wrong. This is extremely hard in the beginning. There's probably like at least 5 to 10 people that I just like had to throw out the window and accept the fact that they were never going to be a part of anything, because like I would just talk gibberish to them and like overwhelm them with a bunch of information, because you know you get excited about the product, you want to share, like there's so much to know about it, and you just kind of like want to get all that information and like greatness across to them without like scaring them off. Like you have to remember, a lot of these people are like deers, you know what I mean, that are just standing in headlights, and if you make a sudden movement, they're running away. So it does take time, and don't think if you're in the beginning or you're new to this, or like even like the first like month or two really, that you're doing something wrong. You're not. You're just finding your learning curve with it. I have a couple pre-canned responses that I tweak and like make necessary for the common questions that I get. You know, like what is Thrive? What is Thrive should not be an complicated system or explaining to anybody. The simple 3-step process, which contains the shakes, capsules, and the first ever wearable nutrition patch, something in that lines, fills your nutritional gaps, gives you all day natural energy, super simple. Just keep it real together like that. When people ask, what do I do? I really just say, I'm a promoter for a health and wellness company. Have you ever heard of Thrive? When people ask what you do, you want to stay more in control of the conversation in that aspect, because you don't know why they're asking you that yet. So you want to find out what their motivation kind of is for asking you that question before you give them a lengthy answer of what you do. Like, have you heard of Thrive? Do you know what this is? Have you ever done this before? So when it comes to a potential promoter, it's going to be a little different than what is Thrive for a potential customer. When it comes to answering questions, if you're in the beginning, reach out to like literally any of us. Come to the group chat. Come to me directly. I put my cell phone number in the group chat the other day. Like, if you need to text me and you need an answer right away, I can almost guarantee you, like, unless like I don't even know the circumstance in which I wouldn't answer you within like a half hour. I don't, unless I'm like actually asleep at night, which is rare these days. Ask us. You say, I have a customer saying this, what do I say? And each one of us or me or someone will jump in and give you what we've used in the past that has worked for us until you find your groove, which again, you will find your groove. It just takes a lot of interactions to kind of do that. Practice makes perfect. And eventually you find something that works for you, and might stop working for you and you have to tweak it again, but that's not something that there's a magic answer that the leaders in the group or anything, nobody says the same thing to people at all. Like Lindsay and Em and Katie, everyone talks to their potentials and their customers differently when they ask these same questions that we all get asked. It's really just about finding your groove with that and, the response that you see. And just judge your, whatever words are. I'm so sorry, guys. Going over trials or samples again. This, again, right now does not seem to be uncommon. Same with the motivation thing. Guys, it's July. It's a weird month. We got like a couple weeks really until August, and after that, summer's over. This is a weird time period for everybody. And if you've been in this business long enough, where I'd say even at least a month, there's a very good possibility that you've completely exhausted your warm market. You've exhausted the people, unless like there are those people that are like going to come to you like down the road, and that's fine. But for the most part, you've probably exhausted a lot of your warm market. And even if you're networking every day, a lot of these people that you're networking with and you're adding are going to take time to reach out to you when it comes to wanting to know more about the products, if that's something that they're interested in. So Katie says this all the time, and I really, really firmly believe this, is there's a planting and there's a harvesting season. So if you're not harvesting right now, just be planting. Just be planting and know that it's going to come and it's going to happen. But it's not going to come and it's not going to happen if you don't put that effort every day into making it. I would still recommend making product posts and making sample posts. I probably do one at this point like once every couple weeks, just because I've noticed too that's slightly slower for me now too. And I have to remember that if I'm not networking, I'm not going to get new people buying samples. It's just a fact. If I'm not getting new people, I don't have new people. Simple as that. And it also comes down to finding which outlet works for you. Last time I posted about samples on my Instagram stories, I got feedback. But when I posted on Facebook, I didn't. So there's also, like I've said last time, there's different waves that come in with the outlets or the way that you're posting about them. I typically like to, sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. I don't know why. Stray away from posting anything with numbers or prices. Like even the post I made the other day, I took the $20 off because I want people to at the very least, reach out and ask me how much, because that opens up a conversation immediately. And then that's when you have the opportunity to kind of just like talk up a product and get them really, really super excited about it. Like, bam, it's only $20. Boom. Or $25 or, whatever it is. But just know if you're doing the same thing that you're doing and you're not getting the results that you're seeing. Now I say this very carefully, because not doing the same thing that you were doing or doing the same thing that you were doing, you may think you're doing the same thing that you're doing, but really go back in your Facebook and see if you're doing the same thing that you were doing. You may not be. Things may have changed, or, you just might have slipped off a little bit more, or, go through your own Facebook, go back to the beginning, to the point in time where you were selling a lot of samples and see how you're posting and see if you have really stayed consistent or not. If you haven't, then you kind of know what you need to do and how you need to go back to posting about it. If not, then again, you've just exhausted your warm market, and that's okay, but that means you just need to network and you need to start planting those seeds for later harvest. Like, I guarantee you, come like September and October, this is going to flourish all over again. And for everybody that's been patient, consistent, and doing what they're supposed to be doing and networking, they're going to see a lot more of a return versus the people that are just sitting here feeling bad for themselves that they're not getting the business that they want. It's, you know what I mean? Run after everything. Like Lindsay always says, you're just gonna like give up on words today. You should be running like you were running when you first signed up for this business, like every single week. Okay? And if you're exhausting yourself doing that and not seeing a return, then just take a step back, which is okay too, and come back to just networking, improving your social media image. Do the logistics of the business, not necessarily the reaching out. Like, do the planting now. If you're not seeing, but like I said, you have to actually be doing what you were doing when you saw a return. Okay? Not like, oh, well, I've cut what I'm doing in half and I'm just not seeing a return. Like, well, no shit, because you're not doing what you were doing when you were seeing a return, so that doesn't make any sense. But if you're actually doing what you were doing before and no longer seeing a return, then get back to the logistics, go back into planting those seeds, make sure you're networking, make sure you're going through Facebook, make sure you're deciding on what your social media image is, play around with a couple things. And when it comes to, I'm going to jump into like another topic. Let's just pretend like I know what I'm doing here, guys. Posting the right way. So I covered that a little bit, whereas those generic images that you like, people are pulling off of like Pinterest, the quality is terrible. Terrible. And nobody knows what Thrive is unless they've been like stalking you. And a lot of people think that everyone knows what Thrive is because your timeline is full of other Thrive people, but not everybody's timeline is full of other Thrive people. So they don't know. Wake up and thrive. There are people who are like, what the shit does that mean? I don't even know what that means. So I would personally, unless you're seeing a huge return with this, then stick with it. That's fine. I personally would stray away from those images and those kinds of posts. I think ideally posting 2 to 3 times a day is best. If you're really not feeling it, like on Sundays, when I spend most of my family time and I'm not usually as involved with the business, I will make sure I post at least once. To a minimum 1, maximum 3. Minimum 1, maximum 3. I like to keep it. Go ahead.
Sorry, I just have a question because I've seen regarding the number of posts you should be making daily. Now, are you saying minimum 1, maximum 3 business posts or overall?
Overall.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on. Got you. I'm saying overall. So you will minimum 1, maximum 3. On Sundays, typically, I don't even do business posts. Your free meeting is ending in 10 minutes. I can't believe how long you guys let me talk for. Stay with free. Shit, what? Oh yeah. No, it was the pop-up thing that threw me off. Minimum 1, maximum 3. Got it. Sundays, like I said, I don't even post about business generally on Sundays. I make it just like a family post or just like a me post. If you're doing 2 posts a day, I will typically do 1 personal and 1 business. I really try not to max out at 1 business unless you're like really running for like a goal or something like that, or like a rank and like you need to make those 2 posts, like that's fine. But I wouldn't do that every day by any means. I would at minimum post about the business once a day. And if you ever post about the business, there needs to be another post that's personal. Very simple. And you have to separate them, I would say at least a minimum of 2-3 hours. So you let the first post circulate around and kind of get around. I typically do, that's actually not true. I don't typically do that at all. Never mind. I was going to say typically I do business posts in the latter, but I don't do that. Most of the time I do business posts first, so I don't know why I said that. But yeah, for every business post that you make, there has to be a personal post. And I would not do more than 1 business post a day. If you are clogging people's news feeds, then your posts aren't getting seen as much because they're kind of like, because they're not going to get as much interaction because there's so many of them, and then they're going to kind of get swept under the rug and nobody's going to see them. And you're pretty much guaranteed to get more interaction on your Thrive posts when you post personal, because the personal posts will always have more interaction. That is just a simple fact. Just accept that right now that your personal, like when I post, I was just talking about this the other day to a couple of you. When I post my pregnancy pictures, like, oh my God, they get like over 100 likes, like almost 200 likes. And I'm like, why can't my Thrive posts, like, just accept the fact that your business posts will never catch up to your personal posts. But your personal posts that have those good interactions are very like healthy and feeding your algorithm. So when you post a really good personal post and a couple hours later throw business, Facebook already likes you at this point and is going to put you with everybody else. So yeah, I just wouldn't. I'm watching Kel's like. So yeah, I would personally would not go over posting once a day when it comes to the business. Unless like something comes up, obviously, you know, there's different circumstances. Like you don't have to feel like you're like absolutely stuck in this, or you don't really have to listen to me at all. These are totally just like my guidelines for you that I think will be most helpful. You don't have to listen to them. Like I said in the beginning, this is your business. You need to decide while you're doing this, what your motivation is, who you are on social media, what works for you. I mean, you really just have to dig deep in yourself. You have to educate yourself. And one of those beautiful women, I can't words, said the other day, educate yourself. Learn everything. What are you eating, Kel? I'm like done. My brain is shut off, you guys. Does anyone have any questions? Kel, do you have anything to say? Yes, you do? Do you want to be done chewing first? I'm going to unmute you. I'm just kidding. No, here you are. No. There. No. Why is it letting me unmute you? You permanently
asking if I wanted to be unmuted because it knew I was eating.
Oh my God.
No. I just wanted to kind of get back onto the thing that you talked about earlier about the controversial posts. Yesterday, specifically, this happened to somebody that had added me during networking. And she had posted a super controversial post and continued to back her words. And needless to say, somebody had messaged me that I don't know. They friended me and they were messaging me, telling me that because of that post alone, it upset this lady so much that she was calling and emailing the company that this lady sells for. And she's probably going to lose her job. It was a serious post, and she was fuming. You don't know who's watching these posts, and you don't know how angry people are going to get with them. Yeah, you know, if you post something, people aren't going to like everything you post, and that's fine. But leave the serious issues completely out of it, because I can guarantee that this chick is no longer working for the direct sales company that she was working for. And that's how quick you can completely lose this gig.
Yes.
That's really, it super upset me last night, but I'm not contacting her company. But this lady did. I haven't heard back from her today. She didn't tell me if they gotten back to her, but chances are she's fired. So.
Probably. I'm like watching Jennifer's Cats, so don't mind me.
You are a mess tonight. Oh, hi, Kitty.
This is still recording. I'm sorry for everybody who's watching this after, or if they even this far, because half the time I'm like, I can't even form words. I think I covered everything in the most bizarre way possible, but I think I did. Staying motivated, again, that is completely on you guys. You guys need to know why you're in this business. You guys need to know, you know, what your 5-year plan is. You need to know that, like I said, like if you want to make it big in any period of time in the future, you know, that why you're doing this is totally on you. I can't help you with that. You guys need to know, you know, see? Oh my God, words. Talking to potentials and answering questions. I think I covered that for the most part. Trials, again, if you're not, go back to what you were doing. If you're not doing the same thing you were doing, if you are doing the same thing that you were doing and you're not seeing the return, take this opportunity to plant seeds. Simple as that. social media. Make sure you look beautiful for the internet, because the internet literally makes you guys money. Like, we're all here. Like, you could be as raunchy and disgusting and come to the group chat, but please don't do that. Reach out to somebody that you can be raunchy with, you know, but keep it off of your actual Facebook. I'm sure there are raunchy people that can relate to you, but I guarantee you those people are broke and ain't gonna be buying shit from you. So, you know, just keep those things in mind. Again, my inbox is always open. You guys can always call, text me, whatever you need, especially when it comes to like reaching out to people or talking to potentials, customers, promoters. I'm gonna go to bed now. So I hope this was helpful for somebody out there tonight. Bye, guys.